Hello, everyone. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker Training. I'm Richard Carlton here with the awesome FileMaker Training team at fmtraining.tv. I wanted to welcome everyone here to another awesome day. I am here just to kind of get things kicked off. We're going to be continuing the conversation today with Nick Hunter. As a reminder, this broadcast is brought to you by fmtraining.tv, where it's totally free. This is totally free. If I press the button right here, we're going to see the upcoming broadcast schedule. If I go up here to the top, you can see that we're visiting the fmtraining.tv website. If you hit the tab on the left, then you can come down and see this is one of those moments where I tell people we eat our own dog food. You would be shocked the number of companies that don't eat their own dog food. They make products, they don't actually use them, and then they wonder why they're confused. Here, the reason we are so good at training is because we give a shit. We want our products to be awesome. We want our customers to be awesome. We want you to be awesome. I mean that very seriously. We want you to be successful. In order to do that, we're going to teach you the stuff that we're doing to be successful. Some of you have better ideas than we do. We want to hear about those ideas. We bring people in. We talk to other consultants. So it's not just Richard talks or Nick talks and you listen. Like there used to be a commercial, E.F. Hutton, when we talk, you listen, or customers should listen if you want to get rich. That's what they said. You shut up, listen, and you get rich. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we're going to tell you what we know. It should be an exchange, a sharing of ideas. And so, unfortunately, we have a slight, before we get too much farther, reminder, since the training is in high definition on Slack, YouTube, Twitch, Zoom, I don't know. Someone said I should do Roku, whatever. I don't know. I'm like,
I think it's a TV streaming.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a TV.
See, there we go. So another streaming service. So if you want to support the channel and help us, you come over here and check out the bundles, the training bundles. Instead of me saying, go to Patreon and give me free money, what we're saying is that come here, buy our training, support the training. By buying the training, you're helping me to pay Nick's salary, right? Very important thing. He doesn't, despite what you all think, he don't do this for free. Okay, so just keep that in mind.
Hi everybody. So thank you for joining another day of the robots, and it's the summertime, so we're kind of a vacation, and so I call that workation. So far, we were on the journey of learning how to do the bot, right? But doing the bot, so we all understood what the bot is. So I'm repeating because sometimes people did say what is a bot. So the bot is pretty much a virtual user like you and I, so it's a virtual user. It's like a user. There's a machine. That's a FileMaker client. That's a Windows or the Mac, and it's a client, FileMaker client, FileMaker Pro. You launch FileMaker Pro, you log in, like this, and boom, you have your virtual user. And so virtual user connected to the computer, and this virtual user is paid to listen what you ask him to do, right? So all day long is waiting for what you ask. So when you send something, and it will execute the thing, like a real person, but it's not a real person, right? So he's going to execute the task. He's going to tell you, by the way, I'm done. Okay, by the way, I'm done. So today and tomorrow we are going to see how we do this communication, how we communicate from one world to another. Okay, it's like how we do that, how we do like the Star Trek transportation, right? So how we do that, right? How we transport something so how we do that, and how we can send something, and what we send is going to trigger things, and it's going to completely execute things completely disconnected, right? So, but without to have the direct connection like this. So yesterday I was talking about this. So that's the bot pretty much. The bot is a virtual user connected to the computer. So you can watch all the video from our 2 weeks now, 2 weeks and a half. I'm talking about this. So, okay. So the question, so today we're going to talk about something I talked recently, and we call that remote auto enter. Okay, so auto enter it's a type of field. It's an option of a field. So let me show you. So let's talk about auto entry calculation. It's very important that you understand, because when you work on an environment like a bot, like you jungle with two worlds, okay? You have euros and you have another one, right? So you constantly do, you have one word to another, right? And you need one world, right? One world to trigger things to send back to you in your world, right? When you do this, if you need to have constant relationship with it, it's pretty much impossible to get, because it's a nightmare in terms of management, in terms of in the schema of your solution will be crazy if you do this, because pretty much you need to do like a loop like this, right? So you need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of cascading relationship like this, and you need to go through the end, and then from the end you need to have the same from the starting point. So when you do this, that's why you have those crazy relationship, one to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, and then you feel yourself to connect this branch to another branch, and then pretty much you have everything connected together. And then after that, when you do that, you have a solution that is so slow that you imagine that your latest Mac Pro is a Mac Plus 128K, right? So you must, and you have to learn that technique that I'm going to show you now. I explained that one day. Now we are going to use it in real condition, in the real condition. So let me share my screen right quick. So far we don't have any question, nothing?
We do have one quick one, actually.
Okay, yeah.
Auto enter calculation will update even if not in the same context TOI.
Exactly, that's what I want to explain. That the auto entry calculation can be triggered at any time, anywhere, and from one world, triggering. When you have a calculation in the auto entry calculation, you are able to choose the context. So whatever the context you choose, triggering the trigger, tickling the trigger, and then the calculation will happen on any context that there. If the context valid, the calculation will occur just by tickling the trigger. That's it. That's why this technique is so powerful, because just you have to tickle modify this trigger, and boom, all the calcs will happen, right? So even though you are not in the context of the calc, that's the beauty. And that's why FileMaker is a freaking powerful tool. I don't think you guys realize how this is powerful, because you never use other piece of junk like SQL, okay? They're junk. They're free stuff. Look, it's not because it's popular that it's great. Because crack is is popular in California. That's not great, right? So, and it's free, by the way, in California now. So, you know what I mean? It's not because it's free, it's not because it's popular that is great. FileMaker is great, right? And I'm going to prove it to you. The problem we have with FileMaker, and that's why we're here, and that's why we are, all the people here at RCC are concerned about that. And the boss, and Richard made his reputation on this, because he's doing this for 30 years, teaching people. The problem we have with FileMaker is not FileMaker, is to teach people how to use FileMaker, right? You understand what I mean? So FileMaker, you have to trust me on this. FileMaker is the most powerful platform possible in the database world. I swear to God on this, because you will see, you try to use other piece of junk, you will see. So, and with this technique, so what you need to learn is this freaking trigger technique, because when you master this, right, you say, okay, look, you know what? I don't need SQL. I don't need SQL. I don't need all the crap I was doing. I need absolutely nothing, just using this all the time, right? So I'm going to show you this right now, okay? So here, what do I want to do? Here, what do I want to do? I want to import records, right, from one table into a table. So I have the bot. The bot is going to import data, to import records in a table from another computer on the other side of the planet. Okay, so I want this to happen, but when it's done, I want the bot to tell me how many records it's imported. That's what I want to know, how many records. Okay, so, and I want to know some information from this, right? So that script here, the 4130A, okay, is doing many things here, right? So yesterday we learned, so by the way, I want to do a recap, but so yesterday we learned about jumping from one context to another, starting with one context, going to another context, jumping to another context, and jumping to another context, jumping without breaking the visual, without perturbing the vision of a user, without getting a user confused, right? Because when you lose a user, right, you lose the confidence of your user, and your solution appear to be cumbersome, to be difficult, and you scare people, and then you get people not willing to use your stuff because they feel uncomfortable. Okay, so we learn about this using the card file window, jumping to context. In the same time, you are landing in the context you need to be to do things. Not only you do that, but in the same time, you inform your customer, you inform your user what is going on. So your user is not lost. And your user said, oh, okay, oh, you importing, oh, you deleting, oh, you doing this, oh, you doing that. Okay, I'll let you work for me, right? So you give confidence. You understand? It's very important to give. So that will be the next week. Next week, we're going to talk about that. But right now, we're going to talk about this trigger technique on the auto entry calculation. I really want you to get that, because if you don't, right, it's like not getting the pesos or not getting things like this. You need to get the point on the trigger and start using it right now, right? You need. So what do I want to do? I have in the table here, I have multiple tables here, but in that table, right? In that table here, when I'm doing many things, I'm starting from here. So let me put myself in the context. I'm here. I'm from this context. What this context? This context is T07 mortality. I'm here. I am in this context, right? But, right? I have another context here. So first, I want to teach you something here. How to get information, how to store and to get information of something without and be able to modify this record, right? Even though you are editing the record. So let me explain. I want businesses or bots or whatever to be able to modify this date, this number, this name, and this number here. I want the bots and I want the pieces to be able to modify this record, even though I'm there. I'm typing this, right? And I want this and this, this and this to be able to be modified, even though I'm editing this, right? So I'm editing this, it needs to be changed. I don't want the scripts to say, oh, it's busy, the record busy, so I cannot modify it, right? How many of you did that? Well, it's very simple. This record here, right? Oh, yeah, I need to do that, but it's okay. This record here and this record here are not the same record, period. And this record here, okay, the date, I don't care, by the way. The date is not part. But this and this, I don't give the user to modify it. It's not possible to edit that number. It's not possible to edit that number manually. It's not possible. Ergo, it's not possible to get this record busy because nobody can edit it, right? Makes sense, okay. So that being said, if nobody can edit it, that means if the server, the bot, whatever wants to modify this information, can do it. It can do it. It will be, oh, okay, no problem, modify it, no problem. So I'm using two records. I have this record here in 207. I'm in 207, I have the record here, right? I have one record in that table, and I have a record in the T07AA, right? Which is a cross-reference table. So what a cross-reference table, right? So it's a table we use, to get, when you have one table and another table that gets nothing in common, right? Like say you have products, you have projects, and you have services, and they have nothing in common. One services are the projects. So what you do, you create a third table, right? And in that table, you have a record that do the link between the project and the service, okay? So you have what we call the cross-reference table. And pretty much I'm naming the cross-reference table in one way, right? So let me show you. I'm naming the cross-reference table like this. I want to link project to service. I want to link projects to contacts. I want to link clients to services. I want to link clients to contacts, right? So it's from project to service, right? Well, let me show you. I am in projects, right? And I'm here. And in projects, I have services, right? So when I want to link, but this here is not the service itself. It's the cross-reference table record that will do the bridge between the service and the projects, right? But when I click here now, I am in the service, but that record is not what you see here. That record is what you see here. So it's the bridge between the service, the project, and the service itself. It's the bridge. So I'm creating a record in the cross-reference table. Then I'm saying I'm creating the service. And I link the project to the service. And how we do this, in the table, the cross-reference table, we have the project and the service ID. So we have the two IDs, right? The two IDs to connect the thing, right? And I have other ID, I have the client ID because I want to make sure that I don't, that client, that project, and I need the client ID. So that's the cross-reference table. But in that table, so let me nuke everything again. Let me nuke again everything to start again, right? Nuke to start fresh. So I nuked everything. So here it says not started, right? So I click here. So I'm launching, I'm create. So now I have the cross-reference table record. So now I'm creating all the service, right? Okay. And this here, it's the cross-reference 5 is this table. Okay. So it's this table here, right? I think so. So how we know, right, which it is. Normally it should be the only one, the last one. But let me show how I can. No, it should be this one. Yeah. No. What's the name of this? Oh, okay, I have an idea. So how we know that? How we know which record to do? So you see here we have an ID here. Okay, that's something I want to tell you. In each table, I have a UUID for each record on each table, even though I have no use of it. On each table, I have a parent key of each record on each table, even though I don't need it. Because at one point, I might need it for this. Let me show you. I have here, and I have no idea which record it is, which record I'm using. I'm looking for this. I have no idea. So I'm going here, and I'm using the data viewer. And in the data viewer, I'm going to the relationship involved with each T07AA, and I am looking for this UUID. So this is a record I'm looking for. Okay, I'm copying. I'll go there. I search for that record, and that is the one I'm looking for. Look. So this is a record linked to this. So it says here the number of here I can show all what I need to show. For example, the number, those two information I need. So here, for example, it doesn't tell me what it is. So I can say 0 and 0. When I do this, see, it changed because that record is this record, right? Nothing to do with that one. This is a related record with the TAA. So now you need to understand this. From the context T07, from the context of mortality, okay? From the context of mortality, to get access to the Xref5 record, this is a relationship, right? This is how I get access to the Xref5. But the table Xref5 has its own anchor. So this is the anchor of the table mortality that goes to the table xref5 using a relationship, right? But the table xref5 gets its own anchor, right? With different relationships, correct? So far you understand. So it's very important to know how, because here we are talking about how anchor buoy is working. I have an anchor from T07. Now we understand why the naming is very important, because you saw how I'm jumping one context to another, just typing. I type T204, I'm there. Now I type T07, right? T07, I'm here. But why? Oh, here, right? Here. But you understand, if I want T01, right? If I want T20 something, right? Okay. So I said T07, bam, I'm there. So the name convention is very important because you can type over like this in the relationship map. So when you have T07, T12, T02, T12, I know T12 because it's user always in all my production, all of them, T12 is user. I don't care. It's T12, T01 is global. I know it, So that also, that a parenthesis to tell you about the consistency. When you have consistency, T12, I know T12, T01, I know T01. Oh, T05, I know T05 is navigation, T00 is preferences, so T100, it's the 106, T106, always system, T106. Why? Okay, why T106? Because 10 years ago, I start this principle, this technique with those numbers from one solution. And that was the solution, my original solution, T105 was the system. And then I always put T105 system. That's why, because, so you understand. So from the T07 anchor to get access to X5, I'm using this relationship, T07AA. From the context from the anchor of the X5, I can get access back to projects, or back to mortality. Look, I can, from mortality, get access to X5, and then from X5, go back to access to mortality if I want. See how it works? But I don't need to do a cascading, boom, 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 connect X5, and then go back to mortality. And then go back to projects, and then go back to clients, right? And connect all of those things together, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't need that. You don't need it. That's why your solution is slow, right? You don't need to do this. No. You have here, you have your anchor to get access to this. And then from here, you have its own anchor to get access to all whatever you want directly on one unique, A to B, A to B, A to B, A to B, no, A to D, right? So how we can get calculation to work. So let me show you. On XF5, I'm going to show you how auto entry calculation works, and I'm going to show you the secrets in all other calculation in FileMaker, like, I don't know, or a hidden state, for example. You know, hidden state, you have a calc here. And the calc must be from the context you're in, right? You have no other way to change the context. You there, you know, you start from here, from T07. Your calc is going to start from T07. Even though you go there and you do a calculation here, the same. You start from where you are, okay? You have no way to change the context, but it's different on the auto entry calculation. On the auto entry calculation, you can say, hey, I can change the context. Haha, hold on. Okay, so now, this is where the crust is. You know, this is where, why you come here to watch me and to listen to me with my French accent, okay, it's because you want to know what I'm going to tell you. What is this? Why I have this? Those are all the occurrence of the relationship map where the Xref5 table is involved. Demonstration. 27GHI, okay, for example. You know, all of this, you can say Xref 5. They're all involved with the Xref 5. So if I'm going there, I'm going to the T27G, right? 227G. Where 27G? E. Why is not? Is 27? Yeah, it should be 27. Okay, T27G. Okay. Do you see? Okay, here, Xref 5. It's Xref 5 involved. So every time I'm creating, look, for example, I'm going to test. Okay. I'm putting this in Xref 5 and I'm naming it. Hello, how are you? Okay. I create this. So now I'm going there, and what do I have? I have a new context with hello, how are you? Because it's pointing to the Xref 5 context. Why? Okay, so because I am in the table Xref 5. So I am, the field is part of the table Xref 5. So all the context possible part of the relationship map, I can say, I want you to start the calc from that point, okay? In that manner, in that case, I want the calc to start with the context 204, right? So I want the calc to start with that context here. So now I have access to all of those calculations, all those relationships. I directly A to B, not A to C or D, right? And so that's what I want to do. And the calc here, what the calc? I said from the context 204, I want you to go to the T04F, which is the table where I have all the files, you know, the Excel files, Excel. I'm creating Excel, I'm putting Excel files there. How many Excel files do I have for that project? Okay, because the key is project. For that project, right? How many counts, how many files I have? For pretty much give me the count of how many IDs I have, because this is the way you do that from the context of 204. But I want that to happen, but I'm not in the 204, I'm on tier 7. So I say, don't panic. I'm putting in my calculation a field, part of the xref5 table. That field, right? That field needs to be modified. Whatever manner you will modify it, it doesn't matter how you modify it. If you modify it, it will trigger that calculation whatever what. So you can launch a piece and retrieve the record and modify that field. Or you can have a relationship from one table to that table and modify that field. That will trigger the relationship, that will trigger the calculation. And that calculation starts with that context. Hence, now you can, from one point, from anywhere in the solution, you can trigger an auto calculation based on any other relationship, any other context, even though the context is not related. I have no physical connection between that and that. But I have a trigger. So from here, through that relationship, I am modifying the trigger. Doing that, the auto entry calculation from that point, we execute the count of how many records I have here. Ha! Bye-bye SQL. Bye-bye MySQL, my whatever, my junk SQL, my bye-bye, because this kills, that famous song of the 70s, video kills the radio star, right? Okay, so this is what I'm doing here. I'm killing everything, because with that way of thinking, with that technique, tell me what the limitation is. Tell me. I need to know what the limitation is. You have no limitation of anything. So now you understand how freaking easy it is to do something like this. So I'm going to do it manually for you to see. Okay. I am on the context 204. So you understand. So before I do the demonstration, you need to understand this. Now, it's very important. Sit down and listen to me. When you have a table that has importance, okay, like this one, when you want to have a calculation from one table to another, you need to have an anchor, a dedicated anchor. Because I could have done this if you want. I could have done this. I could have done a crap like this, AA1, right? And go back to the mortality files using projects, right? And go there, mortality, and do something junky like this, right? Okay, I could have done this from here to this piece of junk, complicated, a third level, right? And super slow, okay? And not good, not clean, not a piece of junk, So I could have done something like this, but I didn't. So if every time I need an auto entry calculation, that starts from a table to another table, I have a dedicated table anchor. Like I need, for example, sometimes I need one. Sometimes I need one relationship. I'm doing it. One relationship is there. I have one. Sometimes 3, sometimes more, right? But each time I need a calc that starts from one table to another, I have its dedicated table. And in the same time that I have the dedicated occurrence, anchor buoy, I have the dedicated anchor. And in the same time, when I have the dedicated anchor, I have the dedicated context table like this, Here, for example, I have context. All of these are my context. I have the TO4, I have the TO3, I have those, all the context. I create all the anchor buoy, that anchor that I created. I have a table where I can have access. And you will say, why doing this? For debugging, to check, to do like I'm doing right now, for example. So I have my context 204. I'm there. I'm on my context 204. I am on my calculation here. And what do I need to do? What do I want to do? I want to go to the mortality original files, right? I'm creating one record here, right? And I'm creating another one and another one are free, right? And I'm saying that, let's say that this one has 10,000, this one has 2,000, and this one has 7,000. Okay? So I'm simulating that I have 3 Excel files, one imported 10,000, one 2,000, another one 7,000, right? So far, so good. Here, I want those 2 calculations to update, right? 2 calculations to update. Look what happened here. I'm changing this with the timestamp of now. I'm updating this. Can be a timestamp, can be whatever. I'm using timestamp because I explained that. Why I'm using timestamp for this is because it helps me to show, it tells me the last time I updated it. And for debug purposes, sometimes it's helpful. What it says 3 and it says 0. I don't know why. It shouldn't have said more than this. Why? Let me see. What's going on? But it says 3, right? Why didn't it work? Trigger count. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it's not working like this. So this, okay. So this is showing me how many records I have here. 3 records, right? So if I'm adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will say, now if I update this, right? Now it said 8, right? So whatever this is because I need to go to the original mortality original items. Let me see. Original mortality original. Yeah. Yeah, mortality original. Oh, here. So I have none, right? So now, if I create this, I create record here, right? It will come. I'm creating record here, right? And if I go there and I update this 13, if I'm adding, tuck, 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 so now how much I have? I'm creating records. So I'm adding records and I'm changing this. Bam, 23. So now I was updating this from the table itself. Now I'm closing this. Bam, closed, closed, right? And I'm doing the same, but hold on, what happened? Oh, FileMaker crash. Ah, cool. FileMaker crashed.
We do have a quick question, by the way.
Yes.
From David Angel. Auto enter calculation with one relation field. If in another context, same tables with multiple relationships, will it trigger the auto enter as well? And vice versa.
Yeah. All the auto entry that points to that, if you have this trigger field in the let statement in multiple auto entry, let's say you have a 10 auto entry calculation from 10 different contexts, right? T204, T12, T13, whatever, they will be triggered if you have the trigger field inside. So let me finish this demo.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a good demo today because I really want people to learn that, because when you have this, not really, it changed your life completely. You open new dimensions. So I'm here, right? And I want, in that layout, I want to show a field in the TAA. I want to show the trigger, right? So this is a trigger, the trigger field, that part of that table. But I am in a T07, so it's a related field. So when I am here, and here I'm opening. So I'm opening that, and I'm opening that. Those two contexts, right? I'm opening those two contexts here, right? I'm putting this on the side. So it shows 8 record and 23, 24 because it crashed that way. Okay. So now let's add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm adding records. So now it's no longer, it's 32 records, right? And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now here, it's 14 records, right? And I want that calc that is part of another context completely not connected. I want it to happen. I update this. So let's say I have a script. I am in the 207, and the script says set field. Here what happened, bam. But I have no context related. From T07, I have absolutely nothing that happened here. I have no connection, absolutely no connection whatsoever from that context and those two, this and this. I have no connection, but doesn't prevent me to have the calc to happen. because here, just what I do is modify that. I need access to that field. That's it. And from that point, anything behind this connected, this relationship, another relationship, whatever relationship you want, it will happen. Because just what I want, just what I needed is the connection from that table to that, to modify that script, that field. That's it. Modifying that field, it will trigger all the, it's like trigger scripts, right? You trigger whatever you want. You trigger all the field, all the calc you want. It's crazy because you can do even more than this. Okay. So just for the most craziest people of the audience, I know there's some. For the crazy people, let's say I put this. This crazy. Yeah. And then we go to sleep. So what did I do here? It's just to get your brain a little bit exploding. Right? Here, I have no whatsoever variable name modifying user, right? I have none. Do you see one? I have none. Modifying user. If I change this, I put one here. Boom. Modifying user. Ha! Wow! Wow! You triggered, right? That's a FileMaker. Forget about your SQL, my junk SQL. You triggered a global variable from a table that you don't have a relationship, and you get whatever you want. That's not cool. So who has their brain exploded? Everybody. Hello?
I think that Stu says, I think I understand this concept, but how does it help with the bot? Does the bot update the trigger field so everyone gets the updated calc?
Yes, because you need to update plenty of stuff when you do something remote. When you do something remote, I exported this, I imported this. I have 2 new records. I have 2 new files. I'm done. I have an error. I don't have an error. And oh, by the way, it took me because we have something like this. Oh yeah, I've done this. Where's the? Okay, yeah. I launched this script on server on August 2nd. It took me 6 minutes and 50 seconds. I have no errors. So you have plenty of stuff going on. So yes, it's related to bot. I mean, I told you that I'm going to use the bot as a support to explain you all the technique we use in FileMaker, right? So I'm going to explain PSOS. I'm going to explain all of this. Yes, it is very important to master the remote auto entry trigger, because when you do, like for example, and let's say I have this open. That's what I want to show you. Today I explain you many things. I explain you the cross-reference table. I explain you why to use the cross-reference table. I explain you how you can use this and how you can use update and stuff like that. Let's say I'm editing this. It's editing, right? Okay. So I'm there and my bot is importing stuff, right? My bot is importing this. Is importing records. My bot is working for me, is importing records, and I'm importing this. So I have modified things that modify my record is editing, and then I have a script. My bot is doing what I'm doing that you cannot see, right? Is doing this, right? Is doing to the X-ray 5, is doing to the record, not this one. I need to go to the 204. Is modifying the record on the 204. Which one it is? I need to know the name of the, because I lost it when I crashed FileMaker. So this one. So let's go to this one. Okay. So my bot, I'm here, I'm editing this. This is edited. I'm editing this field. And look, 1, 2, 3, should have, oh, he updated, or he already updated. So let me do it again. Yeah, it's updated. So I'm changing this. This will change, right? Because I did it when I updated it. So I'm doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, 26. He updated it, right? I do it again. I do it with this number here, right? So this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will change. This number will change. 3, 2, 1, go. Boom. It's 53. And this is edited. It's open. So you can, that's why you need all those techniques together. The cross-reference record, the auto-entry from remotes, right? In order to get that done, because how I can change something like this, because you cannot rely on on what the user will do. Maybe the user will edit the record. Maybe the user won't be editing the record. You don't know. So because you don't know, you need to make sure that this will never happen. That you get, oh, you cannot modify this because the user is editing the record. That's the technique. That's why it's important you know that, because the bot is something, the bot is on the other side of the planet and you have no idea what is going on, right? You have no idea. That's why it's important.
Just enjoying, there were some fun reactions in Discord. A little gif of a Muppet with their head on fire. So yes, I think you can safely say their brains have exploded.
Yeah, it's, I mean, look, it's, this is where FileMaker is powerful, okay? And that's why I am the most hated FileMaker developer in the world, because I'm spitting the bean. You know, all of those things are known by the most advanced user, and they keep that very secretly. You know, they don't want you to know about this, you know, because that's how they, you know, they say, oh yeah, I could do that, and you pay me $500 an hour, you know. It's like a plumber, you know. Oh, you have a 20, 20 inch of water in your kitchen. Okay, you need to pay me $1,500 to come, and then when you pay me the $1,500, I will bill you. You know, so pretty much is what they do, right? So, but we don't here. You know, we spit the bin. So, and this, can you imagine when you start playing with those things, the auto entry calculation from one side to another side of the solution without any connection? You can trigger, you can get a global variable from something you have no relationship with, right? And you can get it in the global variable, appearing like from nowhere, right? And then use it in the current script you are running it, without doing bye-bye SQL, ciao, bye-bye, why SQL? Tell me why SQL. I need to know why. No, just need to know why. because you will spend using SQL, you will spend two days, 3 days trying to understand why you get a question mark, right? Why you get a question mark as a result. So you spend 3 days there, and when finally you pay like $700 a company to try to figure out why, when you figure out why, you say, okay, oh, by the way, with two relationship, right? Like with 20 seconds, you can save it. You can solve the problem. I try to understand why people are using this crap, but it's okay. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe it's me. No, it's true, because look, what I'm saying, you know why I'm saying this is because it's a real story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real story. Somebody paid a company, trying to figure out why they had a question mark. Then he called me and said, oh, by the way, don't touch this calculation. Oh, why not? Oh, because I paid like $3,000 just to get it done. You know, I say, oh yeah, what can you show me? Oh, you mean this, one relationship, another relationship, draw the relationship and say, oh, that's the result you want to get? And the guy said, I hate you, no? He said, you don't hate me, hate the guy that you billed $3,000, that billed you $3,000 for that. Don't hate me. I will have billed you zero. You know, it's you know, it's a real story. So, you know.
Yes,
okay, so
absolutely. We will be back tomorrow for our last day
Yes.
with you this week, which will be awesome. You
Yeah.
can continue this chat.
Next week, I would like, if you guys have stuff you want to know, you know, don't hesitate to ask stuff. Next week, even though they are off topic, it's okay, you know, because I will get it, you know, inside the topic, by the way, because the bot is using pretty much everything we need to. Tomorrow we are going to use a little bit of Pesos and stuff like that, right? So tomorrow we are going to use all of together. We are going to use the bots that launch a Pesos, that launch an auto entry calculation, right? You know what I mean? So we're going to do that. We're going to a cascading effect, like a dominoes, like boom, 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 like this, right? Like we're going to do tomorrow. Next week, we're going to wrap up a little bit. So we have 3 days next week of open stuff. You know, if you want to, this weekend, if you want, you can watch the videos of this, and if you want, and tell us what you want to know, and we will, you know, we'll talk
figure
about.
it out.
Yeah.
So give us ideas, people. Feel free to ask off-topic questions.
Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!